You guys are just where's my kitty? Okay. Peaceful thoughts. Peaceful thoughts. Okay. Peaceful thoughts. Peaceful thoughts. Somewhere deep in the Ozark woods lurks the two people everyone tries to avoid the most. If you're not careful, they may find you before you find them. All right, we're back. Welcome to another episode of Adventures and Escapades. And actually, this is the second attempt today. I just found out that the last 45 minutes of my recording, my mic wasn't plugged in right, so I had no audio. That's what I get. One of my dumbass mornings. I didn't check everything like I normally did. So, we're restarting today's recordings. I covered the news, got upset over one or two. I don't know that I want to go back over it. It'd be like going through a autopsy for a second time or something. I don't know. Anyway, it was my bad, my mistake. I apologize, kids. Or whoever's watching it. I'm assuming it's my kids because that's who I'm intending this for. The rest of you guys watching in and putting an ear to the window and peeking through the blinds, welcome. I hope you have some fun. Hope you enjoy my ranting and raving and my lunacy. But as I said before, primarily this is for my children and future generations, so they'll be able to understand when they hear stories about Grandpa. You'll be able to, yeah, I saw a video. So, anyway, let's go through. Let's see what we can cover. Current events before Grandma gets in here. She's in there sound asleep. And, because we'll probably be covering educational materials when she gets in, because she said she's getting a little burnout in current event stuff. Let's see. San Francisco mayor calls out BS on being soft on crime. Okay, let's go. Black conservative. Let's listen to this young man. See what he has to say that I can get behind.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about San Francisco once again and the crime that's going on in that city. Mainly the smash and grab break-ins, the thefts, the robberies that is plaguing the city, right? Now, apparently, this has gotten so crazy that we literally have citizens begging the criminals not to break in their cars, right? Not to smash their windows, okay? Not to damage their property. So much so that they're leaving their cars unlocked and their trunks and their doors open so that hopefully the criminals are.
Yeah, I saw this. One of my news feeds. They've showed pictures of cars lined up with the trunks open and the windows down, so the crooks would see that there's nothing in there to steal, I guess, other than the car itself.
Aren't tempted to break into their car and to try to steal stuff because there's nothing in there, right? There's nothing to break into. Take a look.
We see the aftermath of car break-ins all too often. Windows smashed, glass shattered. But now some people are getting so fed up, they're leaving their trunks open, hoping that'll at least spare them the hefty bill to get it fixed.
Call it the price of parking in the Bay Area, bracing for a break-in.
Everything is broken
People here at least try to be persuasive, writing, "Please use the door," or just flat out beg, "Please don't break the glass. Nothing inside." Yet it still happens, sadly, even while you're driving, just waiting for the light to turn green. This smash and grab happened 2 weeks ago in Japantown. But now it's come to this. Trunks left open in broad daylight in Oakland. A witness writing, "Imagine having to clean out your car and leaving it open. People won't break your windows."
It doesn't really surprise me.
Oakland's Deputy Interim Police Chief Drennan Lindsay says it's the first she's heard of it, but it's happening in San Francisco too.
Wow, we're in different times. It's unbelievable.
Former SFPD Deputy Chief Garrett Tom says in his close to 40 years on the force, he's never seen people resort to this, calling it an invitation for a disaster.
They could steal your batteries, they could go into your glove compartment, find out where you live.
I noticed the windows aren't all the way down, so it still presents the risk.
Yeah, I mean, if they leave their trunk open, some cars, depending on what kind of car you have, you still can get inside to the interior.
The San Francisco Police Department has reported a 32% increase in car break-ins paired with a 25% increase in auto burglaries. Same story in Oakland. So far this year, OPD is reporting a 27% increase in both crimes.
Yeah, so that is bad, right? That is terrible. When you have to leave your trunk open, your car unlocked, because, people just going to break your windows and stuff like that, even to the point where people are just flat out robbing people in traffic. That's nuts. That's crazy. You know that your city, your county is out of control when that is happening. And this has gotten so out of control that even the woke / liberal / progressive San Francisco mayor, Miss London Breed, has came out here and given a fiery speech calling BS on progressive criminal justice reform policies that are soft on these criminals, and basically saying that we need law and order, including increasing funding to police. Take a look.
The residents of this city have been extremely generous in providing us with the resources we need to make a difference. And now the priorities we need to make must be to protect them, must be to turn things around in their neighborhoods. When you are in a room full of people, I would say probably anywhere between 90 and 95% of folks could raise their hand and say that either their car has been broken into, or they've been a victim in some capacity or another. That is not okay. That is not acceptable. And it's time that the reign of criminals who are destroying our city, it is time for it to come to an end. And it comes to an end when we take the steps to be more aggressive with law enforcement, more aggressive with the changes in our policies, and less tolerant of all the bullshit that has destroyed our city. We are going to turn this around, and this is the most important thing.
Can the church get an amen?
For me, and I know
that.
leaders
that.
of public safety in this city at this time.
All right, guys. So Mayor London Breed, she sounds serious, right? She sounds serious about cracking down on the crime, right? She's calling BS, right? Get rid of the BS. Okay. Now, what does that actually mean? Because, I think the first thing she should start calling BS on is these mandates, right? How she's out here not abiding by her own rules, not wearing masks, stuff like that, even though she's telling other people to do so. That's the first thing she needs to do, right? If she really wants to help, make San Francisco a better city, is stand up for freedom, first and foremost. But other than that, when we talk about actual crime and policies and policing and stuff like that, these are the same people that was pro defund the police last year. Okay, because of the stuff that happened after George Floyd and everybody around the country basically hating police and them basically making moves to try to defund the police. We see where this has led, right? It has led to lawlessness that's going on, not in just, San Francisco, but these very liberal / progressive cities across the country that have demonized their police departments. And now all of a sudden, just like New York, San Francisco, they want to increase police funding, right? They want to refund the police, okay? Because they know that without police, crime gets out of control, right? Police are there to be a check on crime, and that you must start holding these people accountable, okay? But let's read here about the details in terms of what Mayor London Breed may do. San Francisco Mayor London Breed announced on Tuesday that she would no longer allow her city to fall into ruin simply for the sake of the supposedly compassionate policies that govern the city into its decline. So basically things like not prosecuting thefts under $950, right? Stuff like that. Not actually charging these people with anything, not arresting them, catching and releasing them, stuff like that, okay? Quote, we need to—
What gets me is, why are they more worried about the rights of the criminals than they are the rights of the people who are paying the taxes and supporting the community? Criminals do not pay the same taxes as law-abiding citizens do, so they should not be awarded the same luxuries. You pay for what you get. You get what you pay for. Yeah, you get what you pay for. If you're not paying taxes to help support the community, then why should the community be compassionate towards you when you're bringing the community to ruin? No. Good Lord. Al Capone would have had a heyday today in San Francisco or anywhere in California, but especially in San Francisco and the Bay. I mean, Al Capone had a heyday. He'd have shook in your hand and asked each and every one of you to run for re-election, and he would have supported your campaign.
Change course on how we handle public safety in San Francisco, she wrote. I'm proud that this city believes in giving people second chances. Nonetheless, we also need there to be accountability if someone does break the law. Yeah, I'm all about second chances too. But these people are not just getting second chances. They're getting third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eight chances. They're getting unlimited amount of chances because, again, they have essentially decriminalized crime in this city, right? That's what's happened. Quote, we can't be a place where anything goes on in the street. San Francisco is a compassionate city, but our compassion cannot be mistaken for weakness or indifference. San Francisco has been the site of smash and grab robberies and organized shoplifting rings. Crime has increased in the downtown areas, have been steadily eroding. Michael Schellenberger, author of San Francisco, Why Progressives Ruin Cities, praised Breed's new direction for the city. Breed announced new measures that are intended to make San Francisco less awful and crime-ridden. These include executing on emergency intervention plan in the Tenderloin neighborhood, securing emergency police funding to ensure we have the resources to combat major safety problems over the next several months, amending our surveillance ordinance so law enforcement can prevent and interrupt crime in real time, something they're effectively barred from doing now, to better protect our homes and businesses, disrupting the illegal street sales of stolen goods that have become a clear public safety issue and are contributing to retail theft. She said that she was concerned about what was going on in the Tenderloin as well, and that she met with families who told her about brazen midday shootings at a park where children play, street assaults, and the fear that residents are living in. Quote, we need to take back our Tenderloin, she said, and to that end, she intends for the city to focus on the following priorities: preventing violent crime, streamlining emergency medical calls, interrupting open-air drug dealing, interrupting open-air substance abuse, establishing safe passage and accessibility for citizens, expanding housing resources, interrupting illegal vending, improving neighborhood cleanliness. This sounds like stuff that should be done by default, right?
Yeah.
This doesn't sound like something that you should have to start focusing on, because this should have been your priorities from the get-go.
It should have been done to begin with.
Governor City, and you're not focused on preventing violent crime, okay? But again, this is what happens with progressive criminal justice reform, guys. You turn into cities like New York, like San Francisco, like LA. That's what happens.
Go woke, go broke.
You cannot be soft on these criminals, okay? They're criminals for a reason, right? You can't be soft on them. Breed writes in praise of San Francisco's officers and their work, saying our police department and sheriff's office have teamed up to do felony warrant sweeps, which include the arrest of 20 individuals with outstanding arrest warrants. I appreciate the work that our police officers and sheriff deputies are putting in, as are all our frontline workers. But Breed went a step further and said that the prosecutor's office under District Attorney Chelsea Bowden must do their job as well, and not simply release offenders once the police have done their job of getting them off the streets. Ding, 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 ding. Right? She calling everybody out. Okay, calling everybody out. Quote, yeah, it's critical that our entire criminal justice system holds these individuals accountable when arrests are made, she said. We need everybody to get...
Yeah, in San Francisco and in California, when somebody's convicted and sentenced to death, why don't you just go ahead and let them go home and wait at home until the day of their sentencing or the day of their execution, and just let them come in on their own to get hung or electrocuted or however you put that, or whatever you do. But just let them be compassionate. Let them go home and spend time with their family. I mean, you're loving the criminals so much. Why don't you let the death row sentence inmates go home and spend time with their family, and I'm quite sure that they'll show up on their own recognizance and on their, because they're all honest people at heart. I mean, they all have the best intentions and think the best of other people, so they'll show up for their own execution. Why wouldn't they? They're honest criminals. Morons. I don't doubt that somebody might not have actually suggested that, and I feel stupid for thinking about it.
On board, not just cops and frontline workers, but prosecutors and the courts as well. Our residents should not see the same criminals back on the streets of the Tenderloin again and again in an endless cycle of fear and frustration.
On the last South Park exclusive event,
it's Kenny. He's dead.
There's still no word from the hospital on what exactly.
Can't believe that show's still going on.
June 5th, 2020, that in less than 24 hours, my office has received over 1,000 emails demanding that San Francisco defund the police department. Is also outraged by the smash and grab robberies at San Francisco's Tony Retail Palaces. He shared a lengthy Vox article advocating how cities can tackle violent crime and defund the police during the summer of civil unrest in 2020. Now he claims that he is invested in working with police to dispel the organized criminals from being able to continue to rob shops like Nordstrom's. Yeah, I mean, listen. I don't think you can tackle violent crime and defund the police at the same time.
No, you can't.
Okay, that is a liberal fantasy, right? That is Looney Tunes. Okay, that's what that is. The thing about progressives or so-called progressives is that they don't live in the real world when it comes to this stuff. Okay, they don't realize that these people, some of them, a lot of them aren't violent just because they live in poverty. And I'm not saying that some of it doesn't come from them living in poverty. Some of it does, but a lot of it is just, some of these people are just inherently violent individuals, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
Okay, all they know is, you know, crime and living a life of crime, and that's just what they do.
They're inherently violent, and they're inherently lazy. That's the problem. They want the easy way out, and I know this for a fact because I've had family members that spent their entire lives incarcerated. I know these individuals. I've got family members that have been in and out of prison for stupid choices. And yes, these people have the appearance of working hard, but no, they work hard at spinning their wheels and accomplishing nothing. They are inherently lazy because they don't want to put in the work that matters. They want to appear to work hard, but they don't want to put in the work that matters, that will actually get them someplace. That's the difference. You know, it's just, it's sad, but it's true. And until you take and wake up and smell the coffee brewing and the bacon frying, you're just still living in a fantasy world, in a dreamland. You know, it's just, come on, people. Please bring back my hope for humanity, because I'm losing it quickly.
Right? They don't want to get jobs. They don't want to be positive contributors to society. They just want to live a life of thuggery. And it is what it is.
Yeah.
And once you acknowledge that, you understand that you can't defund the police, right? These crimes are happening around the Bay, across the country. I stand in partnership with our local, regional, state, and federal partners as we work together to do whatever it takes to keep you safe. When Bowden ran for DA in 2019, he said that crime was a result of things like poverty and wealth inequality, as well as not enough spending on social programs. He called prostitution, open drug use, and drug dealing victimless crimes and promised not to prosecute them, the Wall Street Journal reports. The result, the journal writes, has been an increase in crime so sharp that San Francisco's liberal residents are now paying for private security guards, taking self-defense classes, and supporting a recall. Biden faces a recall election slated for June 2020 due to the perception that he is soft on crime. He ended cash bail for all criminal cases upon taking office, a policy that was touted as the most progressive in the nation. So, yeah, I mean, in my opinion, here's the thing. I don't think necessarily the victimless crime thing, I don't think that that is necessarily the issue, okay, as much as the issue is just being soft on those who are violent, right? People who are conducting these smash and grabs, break-ins, these thefts, which I consider to be victim crimes, right? Those crimes actually have victims. The business owners are the victims, even if a person is not necessarily hurt or harmed doing this crime, there is a victim involved, okay, and it is violent. Yes, those people should be prosecuted to the full extent of the law, okay? And ending cash bail, right, and basically allowing people back on the street who are violent or have proven to be violent, in my opinion, again, it just doesn't make sense, right? And not prosecuting and charging those people. That's what the real issue is, in my opinion. Breed redirected police funds to other social initiatives in the February 2021 budget after having promised to pull $120 million from funds in June 2020 in the wake of George Floyd's death by police in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Quote, with this budget, she said at the time, we are listening to the community and prioritizing investments in the African-American community around housing, mental health, and wellness, workforce development, economic justice, education, advocacy, and accountability, said Mayor Breed. Yeah, we see she's done an about face on that, right? Welcome to a little dose of reality, okay? Yep. Where you can't defund the police and then invest those resources into black neighborhoods and think that crime is all of a sudden going to go away, right? And listen, I do believe that if you solve poverty, right, if you help reduce poverty, that's definitely going to help with crime for sure.
But it won't eliminate it.
You can't do that while defunding the police. It doesn't work that way, okay? Because solving poverty takes time. Okay, and crime
and to blame poverty for the existence of crime is asinine, because poverty exists for at least dozens of different variables, and you need to understand that one of those variables is laziness. Not everybody who lives in poverty is lazy. I'm not saying that. I'm saying there are a significant number of people who live below the poverty line by choice. They choose to do so because they're not going to work any harder than they need to achieve immediate goals. I need to eat right now, so I'll do something so I can get food right now. I'll worry about food later. Now, right now, there's something more important than planning for tomorrow. And usually it has to do with some kind of deviant pleasure that is more important to them than being fiscally responsible. Okay, until you do away with inherent laziness, you will always have poverty. Until you do away with the innate tendencies for criminal activities with a lot of people, you're still going to have poverty. There's some people who would rather work harder at doing nothing than to work hard at achieving something. They'd rather sit home and do nothing and play Halo or snort coke or do whatever, and then when it comes time to pay a bill, it's easier to go out there and smash a window and steal something, go down and sell it, trade it to the pawn shop or give it to whoever and then go back to snorting your coke or playing Halo or whatever it is that you do, eating Cheerios and choking your chicken. I don't know. But there are people in the world that have that mentality. And until you accept that, you're going to have problems. No, they're not people that just think they're held. No, they choose to live that way. That is their choice. I have family members that choose that lifestyle. They have chosen and actively chosen that lifestyle, and they will come right out and admit they don't want to work. This is easy. I'm getting by. I got everything that I need. And if I get sick, I can go to the emergency room and they have to treat me. So no, don't give me that. No. I've seen it firsthand, and you can sit there and blow smoke up everybody else's skirt and try to make excuses, but an excuse is an attempt to apologize for a bad decision. So get over it. The Vikings were the way they were because they chose to be that way. That was their lifestyle, and they lived for it. There are modern day Vikings. I'm using that as an example. I'm not, but the Viking lifestyle. And if you're looking at modern terminology now, scientific, Vikings it represented an activity. Now, there were a group of people, there were several esoteric groups of people that their socioeconomic format was based on the Viking lifestyle. So they therefore became Vikings. But it's like football players. I mean, you can say they're football players. They're ball players, okay? But they're all individual little groups that fall under an umbrella of an activity. And these individuals that play football have a lifestyle that they live and support and thrive under. That was the same as being a Viking. You were a football player. You were a Viking. It did not describe a genetic group of people. It described a lifestyle choice. Anybody could be a Viking if they chose to go and live with the Vikings and do the Viking lifestyle. Then they became a Viking. So you've got modern day Vikings. They want to live that smash and grab and raid and pillage and live hard today and die fast because life's too rough to want to live it for 70 or 80 years. Live hard, die happy, and die young. They look, so as long as you have people with that mentality, you will have crime and you will have to deal with them just as severely as you got to give out at least what they dish out. So if they dish out at X level of violence, then I'm sorry, the retaliation against them should be equal, if not more severe. If you're going to deter it, it's got to be more severe. And if these people aren't afraid of living and are not afraid of dying, then what threats do you have towards them? Oh, well, at least if I get caught. And I had an uncle that was this way. He committed crime so he could go to prison because it was easier living in prison than it was out in the world. At least in prison, you had 3 hots and a cot. And depending upon on what you were willing to tolerate, you could have all the sex that you wanted. I mean, it's just he had a totally regimented life, did not have to make many decisions on his own, had free medical care, free health care. He knew when he was going to eat every day. The food was guaranteed, the electric was guaranteed, the toilet. I mean, he had no problems, no worries, other than bending over in the shower. And you never know. He might have been one of those types that decided that he wanted to shower 3 or 4 times a day. I don't know. But I'm saying there are people who choose that lifestyle. And you're going to have to get past that fact and admit that fact and admit that there's a substantial number of people in this world who choose that lifestyle or have no problem living in that lifestyle. They'll live whatever life you give them. I bet I guarantee you give them $1 million in a penthouse someplace and a job, they're going to revert back to the lifestyle that they feel comfortable in, and that's the lifestyle of crime, because that's what they know. That's how, People do not like leaving what they're familiar with and comfortable with, no matter how bad it is. If they know they can deal with it, they would rather deal with the known than risk the threat of the unknown. And this is proven by the fact that people that are trapped in bad relationships will not leave because they're afraid of what the next one will. I can survive here. I know what it's going to be like when I get up. I got a routine. I can survive. And trust me, I know this is true because I grew up in a violent household. You know, I know what a person will do to survive and what they will tolerate with. You know, I could tell you stories that would justify. I could climb a water tower with a high-powered rifle and start plucking off people, and with the life story that I could give, that I could give legitimately, there are some communities and some legal systems that I'd be getting off, and then I'd probably have a GoFundMe page to try to make restitution for what I had to put up with. Why? You can't change the past. Money doesn't make the pain go away. Okay? I am who I am today because of what I had to grow up with. I would not know what it would be like to be anything else. So, you know, I don't begrudge the family. I don't associate with the family members that put me through what I had to go through, but I don't wish evil upon them. I just don't think about them. I could care less. You know, I do not treat them any better or any worse than any stranger that may be living on the other side of the world. You know, there are individuals. I know there's people over there. I don't know them individually. I don't care to know them individually. It makes no bearing on my life. If I go over there and interact with them, I'll enjoy interacting with them. I enjoy traveling. I enjoy meeting new people, but I don't spend my life thinking about people I know nothing about. You know, I don't, oh, I wonder what the guy's name, I don't look at Google Earth and go over, ooh, I wonder who lives there. I wonder what their name is. Ooh, look, oh man, they look like they got a lot of alpacas or something. I wonder what that guy's name is. I don't give a rat's ass. I don't care. His life has no bearing on my life whatsoever. Why should I waste time, the precious time that I've got on this earth? Time is the one thing the only thing that you are given for free. You cannot replace. You don't know how much of it you have, but you will throw it away like dishwater. And then at the end of your time, you sit there and you wonder, why? What did I do that was worthwhile after all? I wished I had more of it. Well, if you'd have lived your life the way you should have to begin with, then when it comes to the end, you wouldn't regret it. You would have lived such a full life that you go, I'm happy now. I can't imagine anything else that I could have or would have done, because it would have taken away from what I did accomplish. And what I did accomplish was so satisfying and so enjoying that I would not risk losing any of that in the hopes of something else. Then you can die happy. Then you can die satisfied. That's what it takes to live a happy life. This worrying about freaking other people that have no benefit, either way, no positive or negative impact. They are not a variable on your life at all. Then why are you freaking worried about them? You know, keep your stupid to yourself and let them keep their stupid to themselves, and everybody just live a happy, harmonious life. Get along when you have to interact, and otherwise just keep it to yourself. I mean, please. Yeah, whatever. Let's keep going. I'm ranting again.
It's something that's immediate. That happens today, right? So again, these progressives, again, this is just another example of how they're living in the Looney Tunes world. They're not really living in the real world. And, you know, their policies coming back to bite them in the butt. And with all this stuff happening, I guarantee you, the whole defund the police thing is dead, right? That is dead. That is something that, you know, if you want to lose your political career, come out here and be for defunding the police, right? That's the fastest way to get voted out of office at this point, is supporting defund the police, right? So again, it's hilarious to see how all of a sudden woke San Francisco, they now want to refund the police and they want to be tough on crime. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.
Yeah, but here. Let's go back. Okay, we're here. All right, so we covered that. Grandma's wanting me to try something new because we'll run 3 or 4 hours straight of recording. Just pause it every now and then, but I was treating this as if I was FaceTiming the grandkids, and we couldn't see each other because of the COVID lockdown. The fact, I've self-isolated. I've become basically a hermit. And it's not that I'm trying to keep myself healthy, because I want to live the last years that I can and enjoy my grandchildren. But it's also, there's too much stupid in the world. I don't want to deal with the stupid. So this is my way of being able to interact with my family on some kind of meaningful level and still feel human, but feel that I'm protecting myself from the stupid of society. So, but anyway, Grandma wants me to do these in smaller segments, like watch one of these, do my comments, go on my rant, then stop it, and then do another one. So she doesn't have to do as much editing. So I'm going to try that, okay? I'm going to try to remember to do that. So we watched this one. You saw me go on my little rant. I'm probably do a one where I read the news or something. I'll figure something out. Well, I'm compromising. This format's still not set in stone. We're still trying to find our feet, get our legs under us. Like I said, if I can make money doing this, awesome. Everybody knows me. I don't like doing something for free when I know that I can make money off doing it, so I try to find the angle on everything. But this is one of those things that the higher purpose is more important to me than the financial or the possible financial gain. So what's more important to me right now is communicating with my family and passing on my thoughts and my feelings and then letting them know, this is how I'm doing today. You can watch my video and watch for the little nuances and cues to try to tell you how I'm feeling today. So, or you may notice something. Oh man, it looks like we need to get him to the hospital. He's starting to lean a little. He's got this twitch, or whatever. You see this growth coming out over here. I've just been watching, saying, I think I got a bug bite. And you're looking at it going, no, dude, you need to either kill that or feed it, because that damn thing's alive. I got this little tickle. Yeah, I bet. Well, anyway, I'm going to stop this. I'll check on Grandma. I thought I've heard her up. And then I'll start another one. And we'll try that. Anyway, love you, kids. Hope everything's going great. You know where I'm at. If you need to talk, if you want to talk. Other than that, talk to y'all later. Love you. Bye.